Hello, good evening. My name is Anagung Gedagung Widatari Prabawa with the ID number 60820. Right now, I would like to make an assignment which was given by Professor Dr. Aslan based on the theory of international relations study. In here, we have 9 different topics, but it's really interesting. And to make it more focused and more specific, I would like to explain you one by one of those topics for each vlogs. In this vlog, I would like to explain you about the history and the origins of international relations study. And firstly, though international relations as an academic discipline is of a recent origin, relations among nations were as old a phenomenon in history. There were intertribal, intercity states, and inter-kingdom relations even in the ancient age. One can find incidental references to war and peace issues in the religious texts and epic literature of ancient times. And of course, if we talk about ancient times, we have to know first about the civilization, like the ancient civilization, like just for example, the Egyptians, the Sumerian, the Assyrian, the Indian, the Chinese, the Greeks, and the Rome had evolved a distinct code of interstate conduct and a pattern of international relations, especially in Greek civilization. We can find many of literature that explain about the relations among the entity at that time. And of course, especially on Thucydides' creation, in there we know that the war among the entity and peace order to create a sustainable trade at that time. And also the big issues during the ancient times is the 30 Years' War, and this war known as a protest against the governing system at that time in the European land, which called the Catholic Church. And after that, with the Renaissance and the Reformation, international relations assume a new character after the Westphalian Order in 1648. And in here, statehood became an ideal unit for humanity. With this territorial sovereignty, a nation state emerged as a basic political unit and an effective international relations actor. These sovereign states were very much aware of their interdependence. Yet, they were also conscious of the reality of interdependence in the modern world. And if we move to the 20th century, the developing of threats in the international relations and known as the Concert of Europe. A rise of 3 big powers, Britain, USA, and the eastern part of the world like Japan, Russia, and China. So, the concept of balance of power by Britain was threatened. And the beginning of the World War I as a great war produced the understanding of diplomacy. And of course, after the diplomacy, the First World War produced about the international system, international organization, and of course international law. And so the post-World War I more refers to the terminology of world peace, and of course the world peace at that time is really famous. And in the other hand, in the Second World War, the main issue and each state took an attention in security issue. In the post-World War II produced the concept of strategic stability. And also they more took a discussion about international politics because the realism theory in this era increased significantly. And after the World War, we have the really important war, and of course it's really interesting in the international relations area, which called the Cold War. Well, The end of the Cold War are probably the most glaring examples of how military and economic heft can be used to promote and enforce ideology. The Cold War affected international relations between 1945 until 1990 in so many ways, but one of the most important is the replacement of a multipolar with a bipolar configuration power. The bipolar world of two superpowers also affected countries who were not directly involved in the war but had an alliance to affect and to either Moscow or Washington. The Cold War affected international relations in the sense that it limited the sovereignty of allies, especially that of the USSR. The Soviets' decision to reject the Marshall Plan left the plan in the tatters because of their mistrust of American motives. They were able to split Europe because of their deep pessimism about their ability to contain US influence as a part of the consequences of the Cold War. International relations between the USA and some European countries took a new dimension at the time. The Truman administration sought to justify limited aid to Turkey and Greece to arouse awareness of Soviet ambition and a declaration that America would support those threatened by Soviet expansion. The Cold War was no longer between US and USSR. They had their trusted allies by their side as a part or as a way of engineering support of unleashing whatever consequences they deem fit for any oppression against any member of their association. And this war is known as the war directly and indirectly affected international relations or international politics as well as diplomatic relations between countries. Well, by know about the history and the origins of international relations, we know that since the ancient times until the world contemporary, the international relations has moved and changed significantly during that time. Like, for example, the historical events changed the future of international relations, the economic, the stability, the security, interest, politics, and many more. So I think that is all about my vlog regarding to the history of international relations, and thank you for your nice attention, and I'll see you in the next vlog.